the D23 Expo finally released a new trailer, or something akin to a new trailer. Nonetheless, we got some new footage from The Rise of Skywalker, what may occur. And I'm gonna be in this video. I'm gonna be mentioning about just the current situation with Star Wars, as well as my theories about what might happen. So here's the two parts of this trailer, or I'm just gonna call it trailer for right now because I don't know what else I could call it. But two parts of it stood out to me. There was a time, one scene where I counted at least, or well, I just guess out of my head, 45 Star Destroyers inside of a nebula. It just that seems strange to me because, I mean, after all, the First Order is currently trying to control the galaxy, trying to control the New Republic, that sort of thing, and just seeing that all these Star Destroyers stay there inside of a nebula seems very weird. I think that this may be, if it's not part of the First Order, then this could be a leftover from in the days prior to the fall of the Galactic Empire, prior to the fall of Emperor Palpatine, and I think that may play into this whole idea of Palpatine sort of coming back from the dead. Or I don't know. I don't really know. I will get more into that in a little bit of my theories. So, in the second part that definitely caught my attention is when Rey was wielding a double-bladed lightsaber, similar to how Darth Maul used in The Phantom Menace. During this scene, it was a red-bladed lightsaber, and it seemed like she turned to the dark side. Again, this definitely has a little bit of my interest, but nonetheless, I'm still cautious about that. A lot of people are very cautious about that, and kind of just frustrated about the situation, and for good reason too. Because ever since The Last Jedi, there's been a major divide. We all know about this. We all know that this just how there was this plan made by J.J. Abrams, or at the very least that was that's how I think there is. There was this plan about introducing the characters, addressing a conflict, and then resolve. And then when Rian Johnson was given to this, it definitely ruined up the Last Jedi ruined up everything. It was bad beyond belief. And let's not forget about the PR relations thing. That was just bad on so many levels. I alone could have handled that way better. Just by myself. I could have said that, okay, we understand, but trust me, this is we did this intentionally so that way it could be resolved later in the next film. Just don't get me wrong. I understand how you coming through them, but let me show you that this will eventually work out in the next film. That's how they should have gone, but instead they decided to call people man babies, Russian trolls, just every bad name in the book, and I think even a few times even racist, sexist, homophobes, that sort of thing, and just got into so much politics. But anyway, I'm getting completely out of topic. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. A lot of people are still mad about Kathleen Kennedy, considering that how she's running Lucasfilm as well as the sequel trilogy. She specifically said that they should not focus on the original characters because, well, it was taking a lot of the spotlight from these new characters. And while, in a way, I kind of would understand that from a little bit of a story perspective, it just seems so off. Because, well, they're just trying so hard to forcibly say, hey, look at these characters and everything, instead of just helping them to grow alongside the original characters. That way, they would become their own kind of person, and they develop into a new character that everybody will love. We had something like that in the form of Ahsoka Tano, who was the Padawan of Anakin Skywalker. We already know who Anakin Skywalker is, but we didn't know Ahsoka Tano. We eventually, over time, we saw her grow and it developed, and she became an apprentice. Hell, she was one of the people who started the Rebel Alliance in the first place. And I think that was really, really cool. But something was lost with that in this film, or well, in this trilogy. So yeah, a lot of people are very upset. Were very upset with that, me included. And again, for very, very good reason. That's why I'm still cautious about this film. I still am going to see it. But I don't know if I'm going to see the next film after this. I really don't. And that's just scary. A lot of things are writing on the rise of Skywalker that to hopefully come off at least down to the finish line and maybe make as much of a coherent story as possible. But still, a lot of people are not really having such good faith in these films. I'm trying to hold out the hope, fingers crossed, that it's actually good, but still, it's in my, I don't know if it's gonna be the best conclusion or not. I really don't know. I'm still holding out. I'm still holding out for the best though, and at this point I don't know if I'm gonna see the next trilogy or not. I don't know. A lot of it is riding on this film. Yeah, and I'm sorry. It's just state of Star Wars how it is currently right now. It just tears my heart because I'm such a big fan. But I'm definitely digressing a lot. What do I think? What can I think of of the footage that I just saw? Well, in my honest opinion, I think it's gonna be a little bit more force oriented, if you know what I mean. The reason why I say that is because a lot of people are thinking that in the last scene when Rey supposedly turns to the dark side, that it becomes that it's something akin to a vision. That could be that is a legitimate argument to make, but I would also I also like to think that it kind of would create a little bit, not only a little bit conflict for Rey as a character, but also it may introduce it may create a different kind of epic battle between the light and the dark side. And here's what I mean about this. I've been entertaining this idea in my head for a while, that while Rey and Kylo Ren are fighting with each other in a lightsaber duel, there will be another fight as well. There will be sort of like a physical lightsaber battle that would be occurring between Kylo Ren and Rey, but that's just in the physical realm. In the Force, there will be everyone on the light side, everyone on the dark side. You would have people like Anakin, Luke, that sort of people, and then Emperor Palpatine, maybe Count Dooku. I don't know. During this, both of these battles would be linked and definitely would be in correlation with each other, because that way it would build up not only not only the stakes, but also the tension, because a lot would be riding on that battle. But that's just how I think maybe that will go. After all, we've been seeing a lot of the possibility of Emperor Palpatine coming back, but we just don't know how he's gonna come back. And there's even some case where there was actually a case where one comment in the original video went with the footage that was posted by the Star Wars channel, where one commenter actually said that that the lightning that the reason why there was so much lightning and so much bad weather conditions is because there has been turmoil in the Force, or that maybe Palpatine is somehow controlling that. That's why I have this idea that it may be that he's not coming back in a physical sense, but rather in a more force-sensitive sense, a Force ghost. And that's why I made this idea about Force ghosts battling each other, light and dark, while Kylo Ren and Rey fight each other physically. In a way that would make it in a way sort of tie the struggle between good and evil, and as well as a balance of the Force into this one episode. That's kind of what I got from some of the footage that I've seen. And again, it's just I like to theorize about this. I don't know if it's gonna be true or not, but it's kind of fun to me, even with the state of how Star Wars is. So yeah, I don't know if this may actually encourage a lot of people to see the film. After all, there are people who have been very vocal, me included, about how Disney has been treating the Star Wars franchise. But I think there's just definitely a lot of people interested. After all, last time I checked, there was at least 205,000 likes on that video alone. So I don't know if it's actually going to create some as much attention as possible or anything. I honestly have no idea. All I know is a lot is riding on The Rise of Skywalker, not only for the sequel trilogy, but also just Star Wars in general. Because a lot of people are just sick and tired of how Disney is operating the franchise, how they're adding in woke identity politics, how they're just mishandling the story. Just so many problems. And honestly, I don't blame people for having this or for feeling this way. I'm kind of one of those people. But I still try to hold up hope that The Rise of Skywalker would be good. Hopefully it is. And hopefully even if it does turn out to be okay, or at the very least an adequate ending for the Skywalker saga, unless they decide to make more films about the Skywalkers. This may mean that Disney would get their act together, but right now it's too soon to tell. And of course, Disney has been just in the free fall from the backlash of The Last Jedi, with the loss of money from Solo, A Star Wars Story, and so many others. But nonetheless, there may be some changes down the road. After all, we got The Mandalorian and the confirmed Obi-Wan TV series. So that may signal some change, but it's hard to tell at this point. We'll just have to see in the near future. My name is Omi and on the Arc Truth. Please post your comments down below, like this video, subscribe, and share with your friends. Also, if you have any issues with how I speak, what I say in my videos, or just anything in general, how I could improve this video, please either directly message me up above or post them down in the comments section down below. Thank you.
Almost heaven, West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountain.